What's going on, everybody? James from Next Level Gaming, and welcome to another episode of the Level Up Podcast. We have officially relaunched Next Level Gaming with a whole website makeover, so please head on over to www.nextlevelgaming.ca and check out our new look. So let's get this rolling. I am joined by Brandon from our social team and first-timer Nick, who is one of our editors and also handles all of our Xbox content. We have a really jam-packed episode for you guys today, so Brandon, let's get this bad boy rolling and let us know what our first topic is.
Yeah, so I wanted to talk about specifically, since we're in the new year and everything comes to mind with, like, now that we're in January, slowly approaching February and then March, a lot of people like to look towards and talk about spring cleaning. And I know for certain that one thing that needs to be cleaned is my backlog of games. So I figured right now would be the best time to talk about our backlogs, what, surprising games are in there, or games that we maybe started and never finished and kind of just got swept to the side, games that we bought on impulse and just they're there collecting dust now, doing absolutely nothing. Pretty much anything in between those two milestones, realistically speaking, would be where I want to focus. Do either of you have anything like super outstanding or anything really impressive that's in your backlog, or just you stopped playing for some reason?
I haven't played Assassin's Creed Unity through Valhalla.
That's a lot.
So I recently actually, there's a good deal out, and I got all three of the newer style Assassin's Creeds and the, I actually rebought the Ezio collection for Xbox One. I've just been playing through everything. So yeah, no, it's been a tremendous undertaking and lots of pain.
You'll get there.
I'll get there. And then I'm playing a lot of Rocket League again.
We got everybody on that Rocket League.
Yeah, I know, right?
The charity tournament was really fun. So
yeah, the charity tournament was an absolute blast. We got rinsed and played one game.
Damn you, evil PR. Just kidding. We love you guys.
Yeah, we clearly don't play enough Rocket League.
No, not at all. We did that week, and we thought we were going to be really good, but
speak for yourself.
Does that count as a backlog game? Because I'm still playing that.
I mean, did you play it in its prime?
Yeah, I mean, I paid for that game.
Yeah, me too. I did too, and now it's all free. Yeah, my backlog, I would say my biggest backlog game's got to be Red Dead Redemption 2.
What?
I haven't beat it. I got to be close. I logged a lot of hours into it. I'm got to be close to beating it, but I would say that. Jedi Fallen Order, haven't beat that yet. I'm working through that. And then I would say Assassin's Creed Valhalla, but that's a couple months old, so I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't count that as backlog yet. That's like saying Cyberpunk 2077 is in my backlog because I need it to be fixed.
Yeah.
I think I may have
that too.
I think I may have gotten you beat on that Red Dead one because I had bought it, but I haven't touched it since I bought it.
Oh my God, not you two. You both haven't played Red Dead 2.
I think I reviewed it. I don't even remember if I reviewed it or not, but I got almost right to the end. I got to be close. And then I just started playing online. So
a couple of my friends actually just recently downloaded it. So they're all like sitting there naming horses like Liam Neeson and
oh my God,
and Britney Spears. So I'm like, you know what? I have to actually play this game now.
It is a fun game.
In a sad world.
What about you, Brandon?
Well, my backlog is probably the saddest thing about like pretty much my entire gaming collection, considering 80% of it is backlog. For some reason, excluding pretty much every game on Game Pass, I think Sony kind of holds the title for almost the biggest backlog. I haven't finished God of War.
Come on.
Are we talking the new one or the series?
The newest one.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's better.
I'm not. I played all the previous Gods of War. Like that's not a problem. But the newest God of War, for whatever reason, I was like, I think maybe 50% through the game, and I just stopped playing one day. I think I got stuck on like a Valkyrie, and like I got so frustrated that I just stopped playing, and I haven't gone back since. Because I remember going back once, like last year, and I was at a Valkyrie, and that's my last memory of the game. So I think that's exactly what happened. Horizon Zero Dawn is also on that list.
Oh, mine too. I forgot about that one.
If we're going like much older, Infamous Second Son is still on my backlog list.
Okay, I agree with you with that because I only got through maybe like 20 minutes of that game before I just stopped.
I mean, it's not like it's a bad game. It's not a good game either, from what I have played of it. But it's not like it's a bad game.
Yeah,
I think it's fair to put like a bad game in your backlog. Like if you're just not having a good time with a game, it's completely justifiable to not truck your way through it.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Make a slow track, yeah.
And the one I'm most embarrassed about is Horizon Zero Dawn because like I was actually almost done that game.
I wonder
I'm
how close
still
the
like
end you were.
a few hours into that. Is it bad that I haven't beat all the Uncharted games yet, too?
Yes.
Yes, it is. It is bad.
Yes.
I don't even own a PlayStation, and I've beat all of the games.
I am at the end of 3. Well, I just finished 3. So
3 is my favorite. 3 is
it was really good. Yeah. 2 for me so far has been the best.
Mm-hmm.
And 3 was really good. So we'll see what 4 is like. I might wait till I get my PS5.
I liked 4. 4 was a good game.
Good, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't mind 4. I mean, 3 and 2 are probably still my favorite, which, I mean, it's one of those games that just continuously expands upon getting better. Like, I don't consider any of the games bad, but, like, obviously 2 is better than 1. 3, in my opinion, is better than 2, but I know a lot of people don't share that sentiment. And then 4, I would argue, is just as good as 2 and 3, in my opinion, but it's not... They're not, like, collectively escalating better. It's just they're all good. Some are just equally good or...
Gooder? Yeah.
Gooder, better, whatever. It's a word now.
Yeah, like 1 is probably my least favorite in the franchise, and that's just because it shows its age now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. You could say the same about the Mass Effect trilogy.
Yes, I wanted that. That's also in my backlog. I've beaten Andromeda. I haven't played 1 through 3.
That's almost blasphemy. Just borderline blasphemy.
My copy of Mass Effect 1 came with my 360 bundle back in 2006. Yeah, it's pretty blasphemy.
Listen,
Yeah.
we have a past, so I can forgive you. Just don't let Dan know.
Oh, I'm probably going to tell him. But I'm looking forward to the remastered trilogy now, because now there's 3 new games that are ideally going to be like really good and,
exactly.
upscaled that I can enjoy fully rather than just like nostalgia trip it.
No, it's true. To be honest, even
and
when I go
read
back,
the comics, which spoiled a lot for me.
No, to be honest, I still, even though I love it, I won't go back to 1. I can't handle it. I can't handle standing in elevators for 30 minutes.
I mean, like I on the opposite side of the spectrum when it comes to like the EA RPGs, because I kind of put like Mass Effect as the sci-fi version of Dragon Age, and Dragon Age is the medieval version of Mass Effect, because they're kind of one and the same.
Yeah.
At their core. So I mean, I've played through.
Don't talk about Anthem. We don't talk about that here.
Anthem doesn't count in this category.
That's on my backlog.
Yeah, I was so excited for that game that I got the premium edition and then never touched it.
I'm so glad I never bought that game. I'm 110% glad I never bought that game.
I think I refused a review copy of it. I'm like, I want to trash.
I wish I knew you then. I wouldn't have spent that money.
Don't buy it. Don't buy it. So yeah,
actually, I just recalled probably my biggest sin as a backlog game, and I mentioned it last episode, which is I still have not touched since last episode. Spider-Man.
Ooh.
Yeah, probably my biggest cardinal sin.
That's very bad.
I keep going back and playing old games. Like I don't know what it is, but like I'm actually, speaking of Dragon Age, replaying all of Dragon Age. So I'm currently playing through 1 and all of its DLC, and I plan on moving to 2 and then Inquisition.
Yeah.
And I'm playing a lot of New Vegas. Like that's all I can think about right now is just playing New Vegas.
I could go back and play New Vegas again. That was a fun game.
So there's a new mod coming out. There's a community mod called The Frontier, and it's like this massive mod. Like it's 64 cells. The map size is the exact same size as New Vegas and Fallout 3's overworld maps combined. And it's like a major expansion rather than a mod, if you will, to the New Vegas game. And I've just been trying to level up a character so I can jump into that because it releases tomorrow.
Ah, okay. Yeah, that's good point. I'm going to be behind because I'm going to be playing Red Dead, apparently.
You should.
I'll play
You
with
guys
you.
both need to finish Red Dead. Like that's almost offensive.
Is that worse than not playing Mass Effect 1 through 3 back in the day, or what?
I mean, yeah, probably.
So it's safe to say we all have a extensive backlog list that we will probably never finish. Maybe in the next
I
10
won't
years.
say never. Quarantine is helping.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm
It is.
genuinely going to try and do the Mass Effect trilogy when the remastering comes out, whatever date that may be. I'm not sure if they announced a date yet or anything like that. I just
don't
know that
think
it
so.
exists. So
It's the same thing with their teaser for their new game. That probably won't be around for another 2-3 years.
Years, at least, yeah.
I think I have one worse than Spider-Man. I keep remembering all the games in my backlog.
You're scaring me.
This one is, in my opinion, this one is actually the biggest. Like this one, I really have no excuse for not ever finishing it. I did play it, but to add context, and this will probably give away what the game is, I never even met the Greybeards.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I've
How?
never finished Skyrim. I've never finished Skyrim.
It's been almost 10 years.
And I've bought it every single time it came out.
Me neither.
Holy shit, actually it just clicked. It's almost been 10 years since the last Elder Scrolls game.
Yep. The sad thing is, I keep trying. I own it on PC. I own it on Xbox One. I own it on Xbox 360. I own it on PS3, and I own it on PS4. I literally own 5 copies of a game I've never finished on any platform.
You're right.
And
That
I
is
can't
worse.
explain to you why.
That is worse. You bought it
I
5
finished
times.
Oblivion. Does that help at all?
It's okay. Oblivion was a good game. I think the idea that you bought it 5 times and you still haven't finished it, you may have learned your lesson after the 3rd one.
Okay, it's coming to Game Pass. I can play it again. Does that count as a 6th copy that I own when I get it on Game Pass?
I mean, you're paying for it monthly, so
So it counts, right?
just keep paying for it over and over again.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I've just incredited myself, so I'm no longer allowed to have a valid opinion as a gamer.
Hey, Bethesda, he's giving you $400. Give him the next Elder Scrolls game.
Yeah, Todd Howard, marry me.
Hey, well, I don't know if we want to keep chatting about backlogs, but I mean, you're saying Bethesda, so we might as well just move into our next topic. So, some big news from Bethesda this week, and that was the Indiana Jones little teaser we saw. So let's chat about that. First of all, I want to know if you think Bethesda is the right studio to be doing a Indiana Jones type game. What do you guys think about that?
It depends.
I'm a little afraid.
Yeah.
I'm slightly biased, but Bethesda's probably my favorite game developer just because they own the Fallout franchise, and I like the Fallout franchise quite a lot. I don't know, having been one of the people that has seen that old Indiana Jones game trailer back in I think it was late 2000s to early 2010s.
Yeah.
That got canceled. It was right up there with 1313 as well for Star Wars. I'm interested to see a new Indiana Jones. I mean, we're not really going to get a new Uncharted anytime soon. There's not really a whole lot of treasure hunting games that are kind of scratching that itch, if you will. So I have high hopes, but I'm also holding my breath.
Now, do you think it's obviously it's got to be an Xbox exclusive? There's no way that Xbox would allow
I don't know about that.
To even touch a PlayStation console.
I still think that it would be a smart play to just make it Xbox exclusive.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think it's a good decision. I think realistically speaking, with a lot of Xbox's strategy going forward, we're probably going to see a lot of Game Pass exclusivity. I would imagine that Indiana Jones is going to probably hit. I don't know that it's going to be exclusive to just Game Pass because Xbox doesn't want to shoot themselves in the foot like that. I don't know an Xbox player who isn't subscribed to Game Pass, but at the same time, there's definitely people who'd rather just have their physical copies or not buy into a subscription service. That's completely valid. But I do think that we're probably going to see it as a PC Xbox hybrid exclusive. Xbox has just been playing so hard into trying to project the PC a PC if
Yeah,
you
they're
will,
trying.
as its own second console.
They're trying to kind of.
They really want that family inclusion, and I don't see them just limiting it to the Xbox when they can throw it up on PC Game Pass and call it a day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could see them totally doing something along the lines of exclusive on Game Pass for a year, then it jumps to PlayStation.
Maybe.
Why not capitalize on the money
if they want to make
first?
money, but
Yeah,
and then they'll make more. Yeah, going to Sony. Yeah,
But kind of like how
I always
kind of like how Activision had the whole like with Destiny, PlayStation people get content a year in advance and then it releases on Xbox.
yeah.
Right? So I don't know.
For me, I never
We'll see what
understand that
happens.
argument. Like that whole like, oh well, if they want to make money, like that's not inherently true. Just because if the game is that big and that successful that people want to play Indiana Jones,
I'll buy an Xbox.
people are going to buy Xboxes or they're going to buy PCs and get Game
Yeah.
Pass, and that's going to be the selling point. Like no matter what, like sure you don't have to buy an Xbox, but Microsoft is going to take your dollars no matter what.
You know
Of
what,
course.
actually? Now that I'm thinking about it more, it's a great selling point for the Series S. For those who want to play, you have a cheaper console that will get you the same game.
Yeah.
Right? So
It's almost like
Series S is essentially just like a hard drive that has an HDMI output.
I know.
Like it's.
I know that's the one I'm going for.
It's a great
so.
console, but
Yeah.
it's the other thing that I would mention is with the like Xbox / ZeniMax purchase. I don't think the ink has quite hit the paper yet on that deal, so I think ZeniMax still has a small window here where they can wheel and deal games not outside of Xbox's jurisdiction yet. So there's a chance that this might be a signing that ZeniMax is taking on and still putting out on the PlayStation 4 / PS5 day one, just because the Xbox ZeniMax merger hasn't fully happened yet.
Yeah.
To my knowledge, I could be completely wrong on that. I'm not going to try and play that
I know,
out like
but yeah.
guarantee, but
Oh,
I don't
makes
know,
sense.
but it'll be interesting to see. I think Bethesda could do a decent job. They've got a lot. I guess that'd probably be their first big Xbox title, right? Like if they do exclusivity with Xbox and even PC Game Pass, whatever it is, it would be really big, right? It would be a big drawing point for both Bethesda, like, hey, we're back, we're making good games again, and then you've got Xbox that's like, hey, we have these great studios, and they're exclusive to Xbox now, right? So it'll be interesting to see. I don't think we'll see that game until at least 2022, is my guess.
Yeah.
I'd be shocked if it comes out like tail end of this year. You never know, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
We
especially-
shall see. And
I'm going to say that's probably coming out in a couple of years.
yeah, 2023.
The announcement makes it sound like they've just started production on it, not something
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
kind of been in the works. What's interesting to note is that Bethesda was very adamant on underlining that the Elder Scrolls 6 is not going to be impacted by Todd Howard's work on the Indiana Jones game, because I believe he's producing both of them at the same time. But we'll see. I mean, I hope that they're not using, an outdated engine, and I'm not really going to dive too deep into any comments that I have towards Bethesda's engine. But no, I think there's a chance for greatness. I think that the Indiana Jones title definitely needs some love with a game that isn't Lego. And I'm hoping to see some positive outcomes from Bethesda, because right now they're just not doing too well with their PR.
Yeah. There's another game on my backlog. Lego Indiana Jones.
Not even count at this point. I mean, like that's a game you could beat in like not
I know,
necessarily an hour in terms of like actual content, but
I know.
like the Lego games are just mindless fun.
Yeah, they're like
I
3
know.
hours long.
Yeah, they're like 3 hours long. If you want like easy gamer score, and just go play one of those.
Yeah. I want them to do like a full-on Lego Ghostbusters. Like, give me that right now.
Well, I mean, I'd buy it.
Lego World of Warcraft.
Maybe now with all these like Lucasfilms or whatever it is, they're coming to gaming now even more with Indiana Jones, and then into our other game that's big news was the Star Wars with Ubisoft and Massive Entertainment, the same studio that worked on Division 2, right? So maybe we'll see some more like, Ghostbusters, another nice next gen Ghostbusters game or something along those lines again too. But that'd be pretty cool. Imagine a Ghostbusters game like in New York, but like Division style,
kind of like open world.
Open world. You're leveling up your proton pack and all that stuff. Just hunting ghosts with your buddies. Like that'd be pretty fucking cool. Don't lie.
You got the AK-47 that just shoots a laser out of it and it goes.
I'm not gonna lie, James. You just sold it. I'm buying this. If it's coming out, I'm buying it.
Like, think about that. It'd be wicked. Right, like level 50 ghost hunting. Like I think that'd be a really cool. Ubisoft, come on, work with me here. I got some cool ideas.
I'm actually I'm more concerned about the Star Wars Ubisoft game than I am Bethesda with the Indiana Jones game.
Yeah, because I think with the Star Wars game, it's probably going to be multiplayer. Is my guess why you have somebody like Massive.
Well, yeah,
working on it, right? Yeah, it's safe to say that Bethesda probably I'm more confident than Ubisoft at this time doing a game, especially like Star Wars, because of such that massive like fan base, right? Like you mess up, like look at EA, right? You mess up a Star Wars game, you're getting crucified because of what happened with the whole microtransactions and everything like that.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. But the game was good, like Star Wars Battlefront. The games were good. I liked them. Good multiplayer, fun games to play. But so we'll see. That's another. Those are two big movie franchises. I mean, Star Wars has already been games, even Indiana Jones in the past too. But it's just going into next gen, like with the power of the new consoles. Like it's going to be cool. Yeah. So it's exciting. It's obviously an exciting time to be a gamer now with the next gen stuff going on. But
yeah, especially
we'll see.
Concerned, like I'm afraid that it might fall into the Ubisoft formula, which is like they have, and I mean TJ's going to crucify me for this later. Like I'm not going to hear the end of this for saying it, but he knows that I like to pick on Ubisoft, so I'm going to pick on Ubisoft. Well, I'm liking Valhalla. Like I'm not done Valhalla by any means, but I'm enjoying Valhalla. It's definitely a step outside of the Assassin's Creed formula, in my opinion, which helps immensely. But it feels more like a game that they made and then slapped the Assassin's Creed name on, rather than an actual Assassin's Creed game, personally. But that's the thing, is Ubisoft either goes so far away from what they built upon that it's, like it's kind of just a game with a name on it, or they do a great job creating like an environment. Like Far Cry 5 is probably one of the best examples I can give you from a personal opinion of it, where they come up with some great content for the most part, some strong characters, like the character storylines and following them is great, but the story just becomes very lost in the repetitive nature of go to this outpost, shoot everyone in it, go and, like liberate some people that the guys have taken hostage and all this other stuff. And it's like, it's great, don't get me wrong, but when I feel like even the story missions are just repeats of your open world missions,
well, yeah,
it feels like I'm playing 50% of a game, because you've got the core mechanics there, you've got some solid characters to work with, and you've got a fairly decent, script and storyline, but there's not enough substance to it. There's not enough to get me from A to B. It's just I ended up beating it out of the sheer fact that I had a giant bear mauling people to death while I'm shooting up, the like churches that the cultists are worshiping in. It's insane. But
yeah, I personally love the Far Cry franchise, but I know what you're talking about. Like Far Cry 3 is one of my favorite games.
Oh, 3 is great.
All time.
But I would again argue that like Voss as a character and the marketing behind him sold him better than the overall gameplay. Far Cry 3 is most certainly, actually Far Cry. I should let me alliterate here. Far Cry Blood Dragon is technically my favorite Far Cry, which is kind of just more like a mini game. Far Cry 3 not very far behind. I just like the humor and story of Blood Dragon better.
Yeah, it's got the 80s kind of like fun feel to it and like over the top. Yeah.
But I would 110% argue that Far Cry 3 is carried by the fact that Voss is such a nicely crafted and loved character over Far Cry 3 being a diverse game in terms of options and mechanics and what you can do.
Yeah.
Because I got fed up of radio towers very quickly in Far Cry 3.
Yeah, because there was too many. for sure.
Oh,
But you know
yeah.
what's funny? Because like you mentioned Far Cry, say, oh, Far Cry 3 is awesome to somebody. Like, oh yeah, the first thing they say, Voss, right? So that like right off the bat, like how you're saying, like he stole the show 100%, and they did market it very well, and that actor was fantastic. And I mean, Far Cry 6 is around the corner too, and they've always had decent actors playing the roles. So we'll see how that plays out. But it's probably gonna be the same, right? Liberate, repeat,
Yeah.
liberate, repeat.
Rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat.
If
But
they can come up
that's
with
how they do.
some solid fleshed out characters, and I'm talking like not just one character on the Voss level, but multiple characters that are maybe just a little bit, you know, even less than Voss in terms of like just memorability and stuff like that. Like outside of the main characters for most Assassin's Creed games, I can't name you any other standout NPC outside of maybe two, because I could just guess, you know, like Leonardo da Vinci's in the game, so therefore I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
But like I don't remember half the characters' names that they consider important and stuff like that. Like Voss is one of the few. I can't even remember Voss's boss's name. Like,
yeah, that's a good
who is
point.
he? He's not even the main villain, technically. Like, he's portrayed as the main villain, but technically there's still someone after Voss. Spoiler alert if you haven't beaten Far Cry 3, but it's been quite a few years.
Maybe
That
we're
one,
gonna
luckily,
find out.
is not on my backlog.
I'm hoping that with Star Wars, like, I'd also like to see it centered, you know, I mean, if it'd be cool if it ties into any of the existing or ongoing series. Like, if the new Star Wars game ties into The Mandalorian, I think that would be pretty insane. Or if it's something along the lines of like similar to what we were supposed to expect with 1313, that would be insane. I'd love to see that, and I guarantee you I'll love the game, but it really depends on how it plays out. I mean, like even the Division 2, like I don't remember any character names or anything like that. I have fun with those games, but I'm also a big fan of the third-person shooter, like hover-based shooter mechanic games. So, I mean, I have fun with Gears as well, but I at least can tell you Kate Diaz's name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
no, it's true.
So I've more hope in Bethesda, less hope in Ubisoft, but I'm hoping Ubisoft can definitely prove me wrong in this case. And it's not that I want them to fail or anything. It's just I haven't been a fan of their series since probably the end of the Ezio trilogy. So
yeah, no, I can totally agree.
Wait, Nick, you haven't beat the Ezio trilogy? I thought you finished everything up like Unity and newer. I should say.
Unity, okay.
Yeah,
You're talking about me.
Say,
I already beat I did the Ezio one. I did Assassin's Creed 3. And then, and I played Black Flag, which Black Flag was a great game.
Probably one of my favorite Assassin's Creed. I think that's the last one I beat Odyssey, but yeah, it was good. No,
I gotta say, my favorite thing from Black Flag, just in general, was just sailing around and just finding things. Being a pirate, just sinking ships and destroying pirate hunters. Because they were
a new pirate game.
Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves is what I'm playing right now, and that's what I spent most of my holidays playing. And I did play with some friends as well, so it's not like it was a single-person experience. But Sea of Thieves gets stale very quickly. That game at its core is great, but there's nothing to it. There's no substance.
No, it's just missions. We're gonna do pirate voices. That's how we'll keep it fresh.
Good old peg leg.
Yeah, outside of other player encounters and the possibility of fighting other players, like there's not a lot to Sea of Thieves that makes it, enjoyable in the slightest. It's a very big, grindy game after the initial like hour to 2 hour charm of it wears off. All you're really left with is either taxi missions, kill missions, or treasure recovery missions. And even the treasure recovery stuff is it's the same thing on a different island.
Collect the skull.
Get that.
We did one of the tall tales, and one of them had like a final boss skeleton, and all it really is just a giant health sponge. At one point, we goaded it over to a ledge, all ran back to the ship, and just fired cannons at it until it died. Like, we didn't... there was no mechanics to keep us on the island and fight it. It was just taking so long.
It's not like it despawns or anything.
Yeah. So...
Beat it somehow.
I like Sea of Thieves, but I think we need, like, an actual not to say that it's not a pirate game, but like we need something with a little bit more substance to it.
If
So,
Ubisoft
there was
released a
Skull
pirate
and
game,
Bones. Remember Skull and Bones? Whatever happened to that game?
I have no idea. Did that even come out?
I didn't even know about that.
Not at all. Here,
I remember Skull and Bones because we like I used to see the loop tape and like all the trailers play and stuff like that, but it just died. Like is it still in development? Is it coming out? Like genuinely asking.
So I'm looking right now real quick since I'm on my PC obviously. It's Ubisoft. And it's saying here March 2021.
What?
Which I find
wasn't
extremely
that
hard
game
to
announced
believe.
and like pre-orderable for like 3 years though? Like wasn't that announced in 2018?
It was a long time ago. You can actually pre-order it right now on Walmart.
Huh.
So quite interesting to see that. That's just like what other games like Dying Light 2 and Dead Island 2. Like that's still in the works. Dead Island 2 was waiting
as well.
Dying Light 2 is coming out this year. We don't know exactly when. But
we'll see.
The lead writer quit and apparently said the game's a mess, so I don't imagine that's going to release on time anymore.
If you guys have Dying Light on Xbox, I'm down to play that again. I love that game.
I think it's in Game Pass.
I'm pretty sure it's in Game Pass. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm 110% down to play some Dying Light. I love Dying Light 1.
I've never played it, but I'll play it.
It's a co-op game
so
too.
Good. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's good. And I still don't remember all the secrets from it too. So,
dude, we're gonna get XP caliber right off the bat.
Yeah.
Like we're going straight to the island and holding that X button for 5 minutes. I don't care.
All right. So, final thoughts on Star Wars game and Indiana Jones. We excited or we're not excited?
Indiana Jones, I'm excited for. Star Wars game, I am iffy on. They're making it open world. The last thing I'm really disappointed with was Fallout 76. So I don't know. We're gonna see.
Yeah. I'm 50-50. I feel like this is going to be Bethesda's redemption. And
I hope it's redemption for both of them.
Yeah.
At least in my eyes.
For sure.
I personally love Ubisoft. They make some fantastic games, but like you were saying with the whole Far Cry and some other games, that it's starting to get very repetitive. But yeah, we'll see. It's next gen, the new world order. So let's see what happens. But let's wrap things up with some quick game of the year talk from obviously 2020, and because we haven't had a chance to do that yet. So Brandon, let us know what your 2020 game of the year was.
So, in all fairness, I do want to paraphrase by saying, obviously, I haven't played every release in 2020. So, it's only based off of what I have played, either to a degree where I feel comfortable saying that it's a game of the year status, or it's a game that I feel, or I have beaten, I should say, and I can, firmly say, like, this is amazing. Like, I love this game. For me, it would be Hades, but I don't feel that I'm far enough in Hades to comfortably say that it won Game of the Year 2020 for me. So I'm going to have to give it to Ghost of Tsushima. I absolutely love the game. It was one of the few releases last year, technically speaking, that I, sat down and immediately got sucked into. It was one of the first games that made me feel like I was, a part of the story and fully immersed. The gameplay was well done. I did not play it in English. I actually played it in Japanese sub.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt a fully immersed experience. I thought it was fantastic. The graphics are amazing. I spent more time in photography mode than I probably did on any of the side missions. It was a gem to beat for me. It was, I would go back and play that again right now if I felt like restarting my progress, which I don't, because I'm now also playing the free online multiplayer expansions that they've added in, because they just released raids, or at least matchmaking for raids. So I don't need to have any friends who aren't playing the game come back and play with me.
Yeah, exactly.
But Ghost of Tsushima, 110% without a doubt, was my game of the year for 2020.
Nice. Cool. Nick? You got?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as Brandon. I didn't play a lot of games in 2020. PGA, the new PGA was actually quite up there for me. But no, in the end, I'm probably going to have to give my game of the year to Valhalla. I actually quite enjoyed that game, like probably on the same level as I did Black Flag. I'm also I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to the Viking side of things, right? And that's one of the periods I studied when I was studying history. So it was really nice to kind of get immersed in that world, but it was also nice to kind of let the game play out as it's supposed to. I know we had a bit of a discussion with TJ about like the merits of playing versus male Ivor or female Ivor, but I really like the idea that you can just let the animus decide in the moment, and then it's just it harkens back when you could just, this is your assassin, play as your assassin, right? So I don't know, it was a really good game for me, and I'd say that that's probably my game of the year.
Very nice. So I guess it's my turn. I would have liked to play Ghost of Tsushima. It's in my PS4, but I haven't played it yet. So that's another huge one on my backlog too. But I guess out of like the main list that like came out with the Game Awards and everything was that I played and beat through was Doom Eternal and Last of Us 2. I really enjoyed both games for obviously, both different reasons, right? Because Doom Eternal is just something you just kick back and just shoot the shit out of aliens, right, and have some fun with it. But I did enjoy Last of Us 2 very much. So obviously it did win Game of the Year. I'm not like trying to cop out and say it's my Game of the Year, because I'm actually kind of torn between Doom and Last of Us 2, both very well done games. But if I had to choose, gun to my head, I'm going to go with Doom. They kicked ass on the first one, and they kicked ass on this one, so I'm going with Doom Eternal.
Oh, I forgot that Doom was this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been
Last of Us was good. Last of Us 2 was great. I know a lot of people were on the fence with that game, but I think it was a very well done game. And we'll probably see a third one.
Oh, for sure.
Very soon. Not very soon.
Not very soon, but for sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 100%. 100%. Well, I guess that's it, because we don't need to keep rambling about Game of the Year, because now it's 2021. We got all these good, great games coming out this year, hopefully. A lot of games got delayed that were supposed to launch with consoles, like Halo. I know Far Cry got pushed back. A few others that are just going to probably continue to get pushed back, depending on what's going on with COVID and all that kind of stuff. So we'll see what happens in 2021. We're just getting started. Next Level Gaming just launched our new website. Well, not a new website, I guess. It's just a revamped version of our
NXL's new website.
Yeah, it is going to be website of the year.
Website of the year.
We got the team in the back working on that, and stay locked in, because we're going to have some more podcasts down the road for you guys. So that's it for myself, Brandon, and Nick for another episode of the Level Up Podcast. So check out the new website, www.nextlevelgaming.ca, and make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, and check us out for weekly gaming content. Take it easy, everybody.